Big gun streets, said I gotta like that. I get it when I wanna smoking.
Turn that down. All right, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. You are with your host, Isaiah Jeremiah Williams, and we are here on Latin Evolution Radio. And I have a special guest, and that is Al Johnson. How are we doing?
Doing amazing, and just honored to be here with you, man. It's good to seeing your face, man. And
man, it's been years.
Telling some stories about you, looking at you again. As I rolled in, I'm like, this young man has handled his business, but we know it wasn't always that way, right?
No, it definitely wasn't.
There's some stuff that's come along with it. So
yeah, and you've seen it. I mean, you've seen it on a hands-on experience.
I have. I have. You know. I feel like I'm at a space in my life where I've have some success. You know, I feel like I'm getting there.
Yeah.
And people can look at me, and you can look at the car, and you can look at the suit and all this other stuff and be envious. But if you want what I want, you may not want to go through what I've had to go through to get it.
Correct. It's when people say that basically the shoes, you can't walk in the steps that I took unless you want to put these shoes on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's exactly it. I mean, perception is a big thing. I mean, I love the suit. I love the car, by the way. Looking good.
Right.
Most definitely looking good. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, people are very envious. I mean, people can get that way.
Yeah.
But there's beauty in envy too.
It is. You know. And you know, as I go through, as often as I can, Isaiah, and it is just real. I see a lot of individuals. I see a lot of young men.
Yeah.
There's some young ladies as well, but I specifically look for the young men that are going through.
Yeah.
And say, hey, no. You are going through. You can't be stuck. You're going through. And on the other side of that, if you can keep people in your life that's gonna speak a word of positivity and encouragement to you along the way, you'll see it. Yeah. And then once you get where you got to get to, then you reach back and you get somebody else. We keep this thing going, man, and get us out of this cycle.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is the cycle.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's kind of what our episode's on here today is trapped.
Yeah.
I mean, some people feel trapped in their own cycle, be it their family cycle, be it just their product in their environment.
Right.
You know? I mean, that's where I met you. That's how I ended up at the Alternative Learning Center.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a lost kid on a path that I didn't know which way we were going. That is for sure. Until, I mean, I found my way. I mean, but like you said, it took a lot of steps in between there. And I don't wish that upon anybody.
Right. It's an interesting choice of words. You know, you're a lost kid. And I wonder, you know, you were only lost because you weren't really given a map, right?
Oh.
You were figuring things out as you go. You're in survival mode, and that's what we as humans do.
Yeah.
We go in survival mode. So you had figured out some things that allowed you to keep yourself safe. You need to be emotionally safe. You need to be mentally safe, and you did that. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know how safe I was at the time. You know, like, but that is right though. That's what comforted me. That's what I was used to. That's what I felt safe around, is those things, even if it was some crazy things at the time.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. And yeah, that's my wife right there. I'm just letting her know that I'm on the radio right now. That's why I'm not picking up. So look, I still got to go home, and I got to make my wife happy. But baby, I'm going to call you back when I'm done with this.
Oh, that's classic. I absolutely love that. I thought you accidentally called someone in the middle of this.
I definitely did not. She called me once, and I didn't pick up. I silenced. She called me the second time. I need to let her know exactly what's going on. Okay, so she's good.
That's a learning lesson for a lot of the people that are listening. You know, take care of the wife. Happy wife, happy life.
I've been married 25 years. That's a pro tip. I'm telling you.
Ooh, congratulations.
Yes,
congratulations, sir.
Yes,
because that is, if I do the math right, let me add that up, add the whole to one. Yeah, that's my whole life.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was never known for math, but I could do that.
Right. But there's that. But I want to get back to that. There's this cycle because I can only, as a person, my experiences, what I bring to life, that's what I push out there. Okay, so if I don't have any experience at anything, I'm gonna do what I know. Okay,
right.
And so if my life has been in our family, we have always been poor. We've always been broke. Okay.
Really?
And we can call it a generational curse. You can just call it a generational tradition or habit. Okay.
Oh,
This is what we would do. We just get over,
yeah.
back in 33rd and Park Avenue, South Minneapolis. Hey, go ahead, Central Pioneers, if there's any of y'all out there
Hey,
listening.
okay. Yeah, we over there.
But it was like, when we get that paycheck at the middle of the month or the beginning of the month, the food stamps,
Yeah.
we go up and consume everything we can because that's what life was like, right?
Yeah, that's
Until
exactly
I knew
what I know.
different. Until I knew a little bit about saving a little bit now because I can get something better later.
Yeah.
No,
I think like I know that after, because I had to learn that too. That's exactly how I was raised, was first of the month, and that's what we were looking for. I mean, Bone Thugs Harmony said it best, and it was those moments that I looked forward to as a kid. It was almost like Christmas because we didn't have money at the end of the month, or and sometimes in those situations when you get food stamps, you got people trading food stamps, so they might be doing things for the better purpose of them and not your family. So
Right.
I was stuck. Like, that's why I went to school. I sometimes was to eat. Don't get me wrong, it was cool to see everybody, but that's part of some things that happen in this world. That's
It is frustrating. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Yeah, it is. I get frustrated. I get angry sometimes,
Yeah.
and I keep that stuff to myself.
Yeah, but it's okay to feel that.
And when I get there in my mind, though, I'm trying to strategize on how I'm going to change that. Okay, because I know when we went into distance learning,
Yeah.
that a lot of kids lost their support, their social emotional support. They lost their food. They lost their security. And if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs at the very bottom, okay, it is food, it is sleep,
Yep.
it is health. It's water.
Yeah.
And now if I go to school to get those things, and I'm crashing on my buddy's couch, and because it's not there, you know what? I'm lost now. Now I got to go into survival mode.
Yeah.
Okay, what do I got to do to get safe? Now, we're back in school and everybody's back there, but some systems are not in place to recognize that we've got a lot of babies that's just gone through a lot of crap.
Yeah,
Last
more
18,
than just a
20
lot of crap.
months, right?
Yeah.
So how do we fix that?
I was actually going to really ask you about that. Like, what has these past couple of years with COVID, with not even just COVID, but the divide in our nation as a society?
Okay. Two pieces, if I could. I'm not sure how much time we have.
No, you're good. It's full, no filters. You're good.
So then I want to come back to that.
Okay, I like that.
I want to come back to that. I want to go back to 2014. McKinley Area Learning Center is my first position as an administrator.
Okay.
Okay, it's my first role. I came in as assistant principal, then became principal for a few years, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
I come into this space, and I had recognized some things over the prior 7 years, right?
Right.
What I had learned, I was in Hopkins, and I said, why are the babies struggling? A lot of these black babies, why are they struggling? I was at Humboldt for 2 years. In St.
Where's
Paul.
that?
So Humboldt High School in West St. Paul.
Oh, okay.
I was over there for 2 years. And I was like, why are these babies struggling? And
Right.
Now, mind you, I'm in Hopkins for 5 years. They say you're going to get to be an assistant principal. I show up at Humboldt in my 3-piece suit.
Ooh, okay.
Man, here I go. I'm going to be the man, right?
Yeah.
And these boys got off the bus bigger than me. I'm like, oh, okay, this suit's probably not going to work here. I'm going to have to change it up a little bit because they're not going to be able to connect with me. Right. I get to McKinley, and this is what I saw. I sat back that first year, and it was consistent what I see in St. Paul, in Hopkins, the school I'm at right now, when kids struggle, right?
Yeah.
What's not being addressed is trying, and we're trying. I'm not trying to knock anybody, saying that nobody's not doing their job.
Correct.
We need to pay more attention to students that have gone through childhood trauma.
Oh, for sure. Okay? Absolutely.
We address that. Okay, because then when they miss a meal, it doesn't take them back 20 years or 15 years for me to where the trauma was.
Right.
And so I saw a lot of babies hurting at McKinley.
Yeah.
And if anyone knows me, I'm really specific. I call it McKinley. I never call it the ALC.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is true.
I'm intentional because the first week I was there, I had someone that was not an employee of the building say, "Hey, Al, you know what ALC stands for?" And I said, "No, Area Learning Center."
Yeah, Area Learning Center.
No. I said, "Asshole's Last Chance."
Oh.
And I paused right there, and I said, "Whoa!" I said, "We will never call this place again ALC."
Right.
Because if that's what we stand for, then I'm the king of that, right?
Yeah, correct.
Right?
You don't
And
want to
then,
represent that.
and then what is the self-talk that we're internalizing in our children?
Oh.
So that stops right here.
Right at the center.
We're McKinley Area Learning Center. Okay,
Yeah.
we're an alternative high school where we specialize in supporting students that have needs in trauma.
Oh,
Right. That social emotional. That's
see, I never looked at it like that.
No, right. So can we give a shout out?
Yeah, give a shout out.
Let's give a shout out to Haley Watkins.
Yes,
Shannon
Haley
Bartholomew.
Watkins.
Because here's the deal. The whole staff at McKinley's fantastic, but they understand, no, we need to see these babies and for who they are and take care of those needs.
Yeah.
And so when I meet this young man, very charismatic.
Who is this, me?
I'm talking about you now.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah,
you got to remember, like, these years
No,
were hard years for me. I can barely remember.
I can remember. I can remember the last time I saw you at that school.
Dang.
I can almost remember what you were wearing because it was kind of chilly. You had a jacket on, jeans, and you looked a little rough. And we talked for a minute. You came, we chopped it up for a minute, and then you walked out to the bus stop. And I talked with you for a couple minutes. I walked out, talked with you for a couple minutes at the bus stop. I clearly remember that.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And because this is what I see. This is what I saw. And I try really hard to look past the facade, look past the mask that people put up.
The filter.
The filter. I look past all that, look into the eyes, right? And I said, look, this is a beautiful young man. You know, he's got a light in his eyes, right? He just needs some help. He just needs, if it's just for today, he just needs a word, right? And so let me give him what I got, tell him I love him in the way that I can do it. And sometimes I tell babies, I love you.
Yeah.
Because you need to hear that.
You do.
Okay. I'm a black man, black children, Latino children, all children need to hear that sometimes.
Correct.
Verbalized, right? And so I give that to you. And with the words, hey, and if you ever need to talk, man, hit me up.
Yeah.
We're going to chop it up.
And that meant the world to me.
Right. And here's a proud moment. Right. And so I get this word that this young man is working at a car dealership. I'm like, who is? He's Isaiah. Isaiah who? Isaiah Williams is working. Okay, who hired him? So I go online. I'm looking up.
Oh, that's crazy.
And I'm looking at this young man, and I'm like, something has changed. Something has changed in this young man's life, right?
Yeah.
There's been a shift.
Something
and I said, I gotta go see him. I gotta go see him. I gotta go put my arms around this boy.
Man.
Right? And do you remember? And
I do remember.
I come into the dealership. I walk into this dealership and I said, I'm here to look for Isaiah Williams. He said, I think the guy said, do you want me to tell him? I said, don't tell him. Just let me know when he's free.
Oh, I
remember
freaked
that?
out. Yeah.
And then what happened?
I walked out and freaked out. I mean,
man.
I freaked out. The
Yeah.
fact that I hadn't seen you since, when I was on my last strength of hope.
Yeah.
Like, when you say I look bad, I was a walking zombie. I mean, I look at those photos. I still have them till this day, just for the fact that I don't want to forget, like, why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I had to make a choice. Like, I absolutely had to. So what happened in between the fact on when you knew me at school, and then is, I made a choice for myself. I quit being trapped into what everybody else wanted me to be, or what I felt like I was trapped of my product of my environment. And may it be music, be it everything I'm listening to just influencing me. I needed an out, or else I would have died. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And I woke up and I said, I'm going to change myself to be something I want to, I've never done something, so I'm going to do this. And I ran with it. I absolutely ran with it. Like how I got my job in the car business. We were just talking about this a little before, it's all about that, maybe that light in my eye, because it was my smile that got me my job. And now it's reached, I'd almost want to say millions of people through my videos, through connections. It's insane. That's a proud moment too. I'm proud of myself.
You should be. You should be, and keep going.
I'm gonna keep striving. You motivate me too, man. For the people who don't know, you've came a super far way. For the people that don't know who they're listening to. Right. I have a ton of people from ALC that are waiting to watch this, that are watching this right now. Yeah. That, like, ow, they're going nuts right now.
Listen. So when I got to McKinley, I was already I wanted to be in this doctoral program. So, and in fact, just really, really shortly, when I was in high school, I didn't want to go to high school. So I missed the first 2 trimesters of a 3-trimester school year at Minneapolis Central. Had to repeat 9th grade. Right. Yeah. I had my first child when I was 16. Beautiful boy, Brandon William. Right. right? And so I had a baby
Oh,
when I was in high school, right? And so you're looking
I
at an
didn't know
alternative
that.
high school kid right now, right?
Yeah,
I got to the point where I was a senior in high school. I wasn't going to graduate anyway, right? But I had 2 jobs in high school.
right.
So I could make
Hustling.
money. And mom said, hey, either go to school or get a job. I said, Mom, I already got 2 jobs.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
good. And I don't like to go to the school anyway, right?
Right.
And this is all this
Well, why didn't you want to go to school?
because I didn't like it for a couple reasons. All along my whole educational career, I had holes in it. Okay, I had gone to 9 different schools by the time I was high school. 9.
Dang.
And so I don't know how to build relationships in school. I don't know how to be a student. Okay, my older brothers, they did because they had some more consistency, but I didn't know that. And I was afraid.
Ooh.
I was afraid to walk in the building because of what I heard, the fighting and all of these things, and I was very easily intimidated, and in hearing some of the things I had heard when I was young, right?
Right.
And so I wasn't going to go into the space. And so by the time I was a senior, it's like, I'm out. Okay, so I dropped out of high school. I went the next summer, got my GED on the first shot, and I'm working.
Right.
I'm happy. And see, I got my GED, so I'm like, let me try this college thing. So I went to ITT Technical Institute. I was going to be
Ooh,
an
okay.
engineering technician.
What?
Yeah, oh yeah, I was going to do this, work with electricity, and because I had some aptitude in my hand, I'm sitting there. I'm in college, really, but it didn't fit for me because my dad died. Right,
Oh,
dad died,
sorry to
so I
hear.
go back into some depression, and I drop out of that.
Yeah.
It wasn't until years later till somebody spoke something into me. Right? It wasn't until years later until I forgave my dad for beating my mom. Okay. It wasn't until years later until I made peace with my God.
Yeah.
So that's January 6, 2002.
Oh,
So the man you see right now, that is when he was born.
I
Okay.
love that.
Okay. That is the day. And so I came back, and my wife and our relationship has done nothing but gone up. And I got some point. And so in 2006, I said, I want to go back to school. I want to get my bachelor's.
Yep. Okay.
Right. And so I got my little job. I get my bachelor's, and I had prayed God hidden. And I said, God, I want to get my bachelor's. He said, hey, listen, if you get your bachelor's in ministry, I'll let you go as far as you want to go. I said, bet. Yep. Got my bachelor's in ministries from Northwestern College, University.
Yeah.
Got my master's in organizational leadership. I was working at a school. Somebody said, hey, you're so good with kids. You'd be a great principal. Like, man, I got a GED. I dropped out of high school. What you talking about? I can't be a principal in my
Who
high
are you
school.
talking to,
Who
right?
are you talking to? But guess what? I went forward, right?
Yeah.
And so I started this doctoral program at Bethel.
Okay.
And then I accelerated my principal licensure so I could become an administrator at McKinley.
Okay.
Okay, now this is McKinley. So this is what I want McKinley to hear.
Yeah.
My dissertation was going to be on closing the achievement gap between Black and white boys. Okay. I got to McKinley and saw all the trauma there. I changed my dissertation.
Really?
My dissertation now, and what I completed, is on understanding the risk and protective factors for high school students who experience chronic childhood trauma.
Wow.
McKinley, y'all did that.
Wow. That is, shout out McKinley.
And they do call me Dr. Johnson now.
Yeah, Dr. Johnson. Hey, give me that. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. When I read that, obviously you're already an idol to me, but you're still going, and that just makes me want to keep on pushing. And I know you got so many people that I don't even know if you know this, but you're changing lives, like the ripple effect. Like you're getting people to, giving them the keys to unlock themselves from being trapped. Literally. I mean, it took you being in my ear, and even if it's just a conversation, be it just a word, be it just hearing the word love in a day, could have totally changed someone's life, and it did. It more than did.
Right. It's important for you to tell your story, okay? Because you're going to go further than Johnson. I promise you, you're going to go much further because you've started the journey, this trajectory, a lot earlier in life than I did. So we're going to need you out there telling your story, letting other young people know, hey, this is the route that I did. I could have gone here.
Yeah.
But now this is right, and my life is so much better now. I'm not looking over my shoulder to see who's coming up after me.
Correct.
Right?
Exactly.
I can rest at night.
Yeah. And I'm trying, and that's kind of the goal. Like at first I had a problem with telling my story because people would say that I was arrogant or something, because I'm very confident about the way I tell it. But I'm just proud. I'm just super proud of how far I've came from it. And people can get very, I think, they look at it the wrong way. I don't know, but I know if you don't know me on how I talk, I talk very confidently and proudly when I get there, So I'm trying to get the story out there because I want to be able to change these lives for these boys, these girls that are trapped, man. It kills me to see the neglect even in some of these kids recently. And I'm not saying on the school side, but I'm saying on before they get to the schools.
Mhm.
What happens to them after the schools?
Mhm.
School could be there's a lot of people's safe zones,
Mhm.
and literally like that's huge. I mean, so I'm working right now. Actually, when you came back and saw me at the dealership, we had talked about me getting my GED,
Mhm.
and I'm still wanting to do that,
Mhm.
like very much so. And I'm a procrastinator like no other, man. She messaged me over and over and over again, and I felt so bad at a certain point. I was just like, I'm sorry, like I'm gonna come and do it, but I got no excuses for you,
Mhm.
like because she wasn't ready to hear him. She wasn't
Right.
ready to hear him
Right.
at all.
Right.
But through me doing that, I've actually sent a couple people there that have gotten their GEDs now,
Mhm.
and I'm like, okay, like I'm not saying everyone needs it, but I highly recommend it to people and to kids because it gives them a good feeling. I'm
Mhm.
sure, and I see it all around me on those kids. But me personally, I think it's gonna take a little bit, but I'm ready to do so.
This is what I say, and so I'll address that a little differently now. If it is your goal to get your GED, then what you waiting for?
Yeah, correct. But it's not my goal.
But if it's not your goal, then are you wasting time?
Ooh, I didn't expect to hear that from you.
You could be spending emotional energy until you're ready. I wasn't ready to go back and get mine until I was ready. I wasn't ready. It took me 70 years to finish my dissertation. I wasn't ready to finish it, but within this last year, I moved at light speed because now I'm ready to do it. And I was spinning my wheels in some of this other time. Okay.
Yeah,
And then
because
what are you going to get? Now, if I am preaching education,
yeah,
I better go and get as much as I can get.
right.
Both hands full. Okay. But once you set, okay, I do want that now. I want that as a goal. Okay. Don't sleep on your goals, man.
Right. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to. Yeah, I might be wasting my time if I'm just saying that because I mean I can still touch souls.
Yeah, you can.
Without it.
Yeah. Now,
Like
I can apply some pressure.
yeah, I know you can.
Would you like me to apply a little pressure?
Hit it.
I'm gonna apply a little pressure. Okay.
You can definitely hit it.
So all those listeners out there, that would encourage my brother right here to get his GED, to show other people that might not know that it can be done, that it can be done, even if you might not want to. Let's hit him up on his Twitter, his Instagram, send him a note,
Ooh.
say, hey, bro, we got your back. We're going to support you. We love you. We're with you all the way. That's how I apply a little pressure.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of pressure.
It is.
That is going to be a
But
lot of
what you're
pressure.
going to find, sir, is you're going to find some more of yourself that you didn't know, right? You're going to realize, because your issue was never intelligence.
Really?
No, it was not. You have enormous amounts of intelligence. How you apply it, bro.
Dang.
You're gonna get that. There's gonna be some things on that GE test. You go, of course I know this.
Right.
With you working in the car industry, you've learned a lot of math already.
Yeah. It's a second nature.
You'll be fine. But here is another question: if there's a fear in taking the test and failing,
if
there's a fear
of
failure, then let's work through that.
Yeah, it's more than a fear of failure.
So we talk about trapped.
Yeah, that's exactly where we're at.
Yeah. Fear can hold us back from doing some things that can actually free us.
Yeah, in a mental jail.
100%.
In a deep mental jail.
100%.
Well, then what would you recommend to the ones that, like me?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, what's your key to that?
It's a daily work. It's a constant self-talk. Okay. There's these two pieces. Like I found some success. I feel very competent in my job.
Yeah.
What I do. But occasionally, yeah, I hear that too.
Yep, there's a tornado siren, folks.
It's Thursday, 6:45. I think we're okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but but there's this thing called imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Oh.
When you get,
I want you to tell me about it, but I have a really good feeling I know what it is.
Yeah. Am I worthy of this job? Do I have do I have what it takes to get this job? Did they just hire me because of what I look like? Because I smile big? Or am I really qualified to do this job?
I'm so happy you just brought that up. And I just talked about this last week at work because someone had found out that I didn't have my GED. And I could feel the envy in the room at that point, you know. And I heard it. He goes, "Well, I think that you need at least a diploma to work at a place like here." And in my head, I'm thinking, I'm like, dude, you know, I've worked here for 2 weeks. I got the same amount of cars out that you have all month, but I didn't say it. I was humble about it. And I'm just like, okay, you know. So I love getting people with success, you know. So then we turn around, we put our pants on the same way today, man. You know, and I definitely know my cars, trucks, van, SUVs. You know, if you need it, I got it.
What's the job? I'm qualified, right?
Yeah,
I put out a survey every year, and this was many years ago. And I'm not going to call out the school that I was at
correct.
when I did it, right?
Yeah.
I put out a survey, and this also inspired me to go back to school. In the survey, I said, you know, how am I doing, and what can I improve on, and is there anything else? And lots of great stuff. Mr. J, you're great. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
One of the comment, I don't know why you have this job. This job should be with someone that has education. I thought I was doing what was right for kids. That took me back. But then again, I said, I'm going to go back and get as much education as I can possibly get. I'm going to get more of education than almost anybody else in this building.
Right.
Right.
Oh my God. I can't even believe someone said that, but I can at the same time with the internet now.
And that was many schools ago.
Yeah.
I've got none but support since then, though, man. But,
yeah.
But is that questioning yourself? And now if we pull it forward, because we talk about, because there was some trauma that was attached to that. We have pulled our babies away, put them in distance learning, put masks on them, take masks off, and all this other stuff. And there is some trauma that's been wrapped up into that right now, because it shows up in how kids are doing school. We look at our graduation rates, how they've gone down.
Yeah.
Okay. There's some of that. Students have been harmed by having to go into distance learning.
Yeah, for sure.
And now that they're out, what are we going to do? Okay.
That's the question.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely the question. That had fully made me think too. I mean, there's a lot of people those are the learning ages of these kids, you know, and I can't even put my mental into how they're being raised now, because I can't even see it. You know, it's a life that I haven't lived.
Right.
You know, like my brother Dario over here was just talking about it. He has a kid that's in school, you know, and it's totally different from what he knows, you know, and we're losing the human connection.
That's it.
That's it right there.
That is it.
That's it right there.
You take away the human connection, and we are social people. It hurts, right? And we have to also recognize that not only our children suffer, but we told a whole bunch of parents, you need to be teachers now. And they weren't ready for that.
Right.
We hadn't prepared them for that. And so now there's all kinds of dynamics that now have happened as it relates to education, because of 18 months being taught by mom or dad, with good or bad.
Right.
Because if I'm teaching you, Isaiah, look, no, you're gonna do this homework and you're gonna do it right.
Right.
You know, and I'm sure we have many parents like that, but that kind of sucked.
Yeah, I believe it, because you got some parents too that are, well, who's to know how they were educated?
Yeah.
You know, you think that you'd want everyone at least on the same level there, but then how do you do that in these times?
Yeah, right.
You know, because I know some of my friends who have kids that are in school.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't even remember these problems, you know, and it's like 4th grade math. And I'm just like, dude.
Right.
I mean, you're right, because if I was put in that situation, I would do whatever I had to take for my children, yes.
Right.
But I don't know what I would do.
Right. I want to commend our parents for doing what they did. I watched our teachers. So when I was at McKinley, I watched the teachers there, and they did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
They worked really hard. So our teachers, all over, did a tremendous amount of work to try to help our babies in, because they were thrown into a situation that they weren't really ready for.
Right.
Couldn't really see it coming in most cases. Right.
Right.
And so there's a lot there. But now what can we do? Because, you know, there's a mountain there, and we can admire the mountain only for so long.
Right. Correct.
Okay, now what's
still
the
needs
work?
to be handled.
What's the work? Right. And so in my space, we are really looking at the data. We're looking to see if there's been learning loss with our students over that time.
Right.
And if there is, what can we do to accelerate the learning?
Oh, to kind of catch up?
Catch up, exactly. So there's this remediation.
Yep.
That can happen, but there's also acceleration. Okay. Our babies are super smart.
Yeah, they are.
Like I said earlier, intelligence is not the issue. Okay. And so let's push that's pushing the rigor to where the students can handle it as fast and let's move things along. Okay, get them caught up.
Right.
Okay, get them back in that mind of this is how I need to take in new information.
Okay.
Let's create new programs, right? So we're creating a new summer program.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Okay, and so there's a couple cool things. We have summer school in our space.
I never wanted to go to it.
Nope. But we have a couple different sessions where you're going to get what you need to for sure get caught up.
Yeah.
But what have been missing is students knowing how to get into rigorous coursework, how to take those hard tests. So we're creating a program this year that students come in and that want to access the harder level classes. We're going to teach you how to do the work. Now you're not going to learn math. You're not going to learn English, but you're going to learn the study skills, the tools to be successful in the classes.
Now that is key because you can put the information in front of anybody at any time, you know, but I mean, even me, sometimes I don't know how to analyze what's in front of me.
Right.
So, yeah, I think you might have found the stem to it because you have to dig deeper than just the information, you know. How are we going to get this information in their heads?
Right. Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't sit me in the class and don't give me any tools on because I didn't know it was going to be this much homework.
Yeah.
I didn't know the tests are going to be this hard, but preparing kids for those kinds of things. Those things are happening, you know, and bringing on additional social emotional support in a building.
Right.
Okay. Additional mental health support in the space, creating additional student affinity groups. So if I am a student whose father or mother's incarcerated, is there a group that I can go to that would like students where we can talk about what I'm going through?
Oh, geez, that would have saved me.
Right?
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, yeah. When my mom got arrested, I was in school and that changed my life.
Right. I know there's a prize. Apollo ran it when I was there. I think they're still running it. Mandy, I believe she's with Greater Minnesota up there. And they're running a group like that, but more groups like that. Okay.
Really?
We need to have groups for students whose parents are in the military.
Yeah,
because
it's a total different beast.
Separation. It's still separation, right?
Yeah.
You know, students that struggle. We need to take away the stigma of having any sort of mental illness. Get rid of that. Let's talk about it so kids can get out what's happening.
Right.
Help them process.
Because there might be a chance they don't need that medication that's being prescribed. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that because I know I dealt with that. I'm not saying that medication's not good, and sometimes it's, you know, for the right reason. But if you could maybe talk about the problem, maybe and the definition of it, you might get past what some would call a mental illness. If that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. I'll put it like this. I know a young man who struggled with anxiety when he was in high school. Okay, and the only way he could handle that anxiety was to self-medicate.
Yeah.
He needed some tools. Okay, and the tool wasn't that, and it's super hyper to students going super fast. The tool for that particular kid wasn't medication. What the key was speaking to someone to help identify what causes your anxiety. For that child, it was lack of information. Oh, now give him all the information. Give him information ahead of time. So then what's going on? Guess what happened? Thrives now.
Wow.
Thrives now.
Wow.
Right.
That's absolutely nuts. That's correct. The information, the map. Definitely the map. You know, you got to get away from being trapped in that one-way road that you think that you're on. And sometimes someone could give you a full map that you didn't even see was there.
Yeah.
And the prize at the end of it, you might not even know.
Right.
But that's the exciting part on why you have to keep going and not be trapped. And for everybody listening, I need everybody to download the Latin Evolution Radio app. I need on Android, on iPhone. I see you got an iPhone there. When you leave here, I need you to download Latin Evolution Radio.
That's a bet.
Live, okay? And if anyone is looking for a house too, check into the Delgado team here in Chanhassen, Minnesota. Get right with Yvonne and Isaiah, and they're going to get you right on anything that you need. Okay, quit renting and start buying. But we're back with Al Johnson, and people need to know. So I'm with the doctor right now. That's a blessing, and I want to thank you so much for coming out, man. Like, I haven't had the opportunity to thank you for being on the Zay Show yet on Latin Evolution Radio. We just got right into it, and I appreciate that we did.
And I'm like that, just honored to be here and just encouraging everybody that's out there. But I want to encourage you again, man. You are on the right track. You know, keep going. You are changing lives.
Okay? Thank you. You are too.
Be vulnerable. Be authentic. Okay, and say it like if there's an elephant in the room, talk about the elephant, man.
Yeah. No, ain't that the truth? That's something I struggled with. I used to struggle with that for sure, you know, trying to hide underneath the rug, you know.
Right.
And What's that?
Haley Watkins says he's grown up so much. Prayers and thank you.
Oh, Haley's the best. Shout out Haley. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody loves Haley and Al. I mean, that's what I want to say. Like, you guys are like, from when I'm growing up, like St. Cloud superheroes. As much as you don't know, like, we appreciate you guys and what you're doing back. And I want to give a huge shout out too, because what we were talking about. Okay, people have that trap mentality of ALC, and I know I can tell you don't like when I say ALC, but McKinley. Because and actually, when I was there, when the Panthers became a thing it made me feel a part of an actual team in school, and I didn't care what anybody else thought because I was getting the most information ever there. Actually, they're the ones who helped me get when we had the job class. I can't remember what it was, but learn how to fill out an application, my interviews, and I'm strong in my interview game.
Right,
I'm definitely strong in my interview game. But if people can watch this now, and see the student and the teacher giving back now and touching these souls still, I mean, I think I'm so grateful and thankful for that. That's like a circle of life in its own self, you know? Right. So I hope I can keep doing it. And I was actually asked to speak at a program who does, helps with GEDs, helps with basically like the place that you had recommended to me, right next to Casey's gas station in Waite Park. Yeah. It's like that, but they want to find a way to advertise and bring more people together, more cultures, more, I don't want to use I don't like the word diverse, but more people together. And they want me to be the spokesperson to it. And then I was just like, I would love to do that. I'm like, but I got to get mine first. I'm like, because who are they to listen to me? But I can tell them that these programs are available, that there are ways to get out of it. There's ways to either finish up the schooling that you have left, or there's ways to just fully get the hands-on learning that you need. And there's a lot of people that are scared of that. Yeah. There's a ton of people that don't want to go into a summer school, a schooling like once they're older. It's a pride thing, and pride's the devil. Hardcore is the devil. Hardcore, if you didn't know. And that's one thing I had to drop a while ago. Most definitely, because then my filter was down. Once you're the true you and the power of I am, and you find out who you are and you take that and run with it, like you said, flourish. Right. Most definitely flourish, because you found out who you were too, and you just talked about it. I mean, you're Al Johnson Jr.
Yep.
Fight for your name.
Yep.
I love that.
Ooh, yeah. Pride comes before the fall.
Oh, explain that for the ones listening.
I sure will.
Explain it to me too.
And then that's it's biblical as well.
Yeah.
Okay. But know that, and you can watch even within the last week, someone's pride got ahead of him.
Oh.
And he did something very publicly.
Yeah.
Okay. And now there's ramifications because he let that go there.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a way different way maybe handling that's a little more humble, but get the same effect. Okay?
Right.
Because
it's all a choice.
Because you don't want all this good stuff that you've done to be ill-spoken for because of a 32, 3-4 second lapse in judgment.
Oh.
My pride comes up. No. I sit back. I think about it. I take my time.
Oh, I really like that.
Right.
I really like that. That's huge what you just said, actually.
Yeah. Choices have consequences.
Yeah. No, and that is the truth. I mean, all the worst moments of my life were from some of my choices.
Yeah. Oh, I got to do this too.
What?
Okay. So I believe you're a warrior.
Okay.
Okay. So I had to bring you some bling.
What is this?
Huh? This is from my school. Two Rivers Warriors.
No way.
Yeah, man. So you gotta have some. You gotta have some bling.
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta have some.
Oh my God!
You gotta have some bling.
Show getting some warrior bling.
Yeah.
No way.
On the back, what's it say?
Warrior strong, baby.
Warrior strong. Right.
Wow.
And we talk about, because that has to mean something. To be warrior strong has to mean something. This can't be a tagline.
No.
Okay. That means that I'm doing a lot of things really, really well. I'm gonna give you one other little piece.
Dude, this is huge to me right
now.
Okay.
And so I've given out these, and I give them out really intentionally, and I tell them what it's about.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when I started this young men's group, this group when I was in Hopkins called the Breakfast Club, we had what's called the ASAP Steppers. Okay. And ASAP stands for attitude, sacrifice,
sacrifice,
excellence,
excellence,
accountability, and
accountability,
partnership.
partnership.
Every time I failed to do something, failed at anything, one of those pieces was missing.
Really?
My attitude wasn't right. I wasn't willing to give what it takes, the sacrifice. I wasn't striving to be the best that I can be. Okay. I was not holding myself accountable for handling my business, right? And I wasn't willing to partner, bring somebody else in and help me be successful. Every time I failed.
Oh,
Once I get those things together, I find some success. And then I got belief on the backside.
yeah. This is huge.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you,
Absolutely,
brother.
man.
Oh my, I didn't expect any of that when you were. I had no idea what you were gonna pull up. People have
Right.
pulled out some crazy stuff on the Zay show,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
this is huge. I
Yeah.
will rock all this for sure, and I say that too. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm a warrior because
Yeah.
it takes a warrior. And for everybody that's listening too, be that warrior
Yeah.
of your own life.
Yeah.
Take control,
Yeah.
and I mean, obviously, don't go on no rampage,
No.
but take
Take
control.
control.
And follow your dreams and fight for your dreams.
Fight for your dreams.
And fight for who you are.
Mhm.
That's why I left one of the situations I was in. I mean, I didn't stand for what I couldn't stand. I stood for something even if it meant sacrificing everything. Shout out Colin Kaepernick. And that was what I did. And I take those words huge. I mean, words can change this world.
Yes, sir.
Like you said, I mean, it took someone speaking into my ear, but it took me also hearing some of these other things for me to become who I am today,
Right.
and still gonna keep growing each and every day. The second I feel like I got it, I'm done.
For sure.
But that's why you can't be trapped.
Can't be trapped.
You can't be complacent with who you are. You want to keep growing.
No.
What's something like, when were you trapped and how did you get out? Because you said you found yourself, right? Is that what it was?
Well, I've got no problem telling my jacked up story, right?
Yeah.
And so I dropped out of high school, and then I would say I was a terrible man, and when my wife so got divorced.
You'd say you were a terrible man? You said?
I definitely say I was a terrible man.
Wow.
I definitely would say that, for a number of reasons. I got into this space where I thought that since my dad left, I didn't need to stay. There was no permanency in a father, right?
Yeah.
And so I left a wife, right? And I was setting up to leave my second wife because I still wanted to be in the clubs.
Really?
I want to hang out at Chi-Chi's when they had a bar, man. Shoot.
No way.
Oh yeah, I want to still hang out, man. And do all that kinds of things, and because all of this stuff I had never dealt with, I was trapped in the mentality that in order for me not to feel what I need to feel, I need to drink a fifth of whiskey every night. Okay. I need to womanize.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to avoid paying child support or whatever it was. Right. Yeah. And I needed to cuss and swear and all this other kind of things. Right.
Right.
This is pre 2002. Right.
Right.
Terrible man.
Wow.
I don't want to cuss on your show.
No. And if you're more inclined to do
this
so.
This is an asshole. This is an asshole.
Yeah. There's no filters on the show.
Deadbeat dad because you're ignoring your kids. All this whole 9 yards. Right.
Wow.
That's who that was.
Okay.
Okay. All that is tied up into who I thought my identity was. Because that was the Albert Johnson that beat my mom. And right. I'm Albert Johnson Jr. And so I'm following those footsteps and it's okay. Right?
Wow. You thought it was?
Thought it was okay. Until somebody grabbed me by the back of my neck and said that you're better than that. Uncle Bobby from Alabama. Hope Hull, Alabama.
Oh,
he called me. My nickname is Junie. He said, "June, look."
Junie.
Yeah, Junie. Junebug. and at one point, I was GQ Junie because I used to dress nice. Right?
Oh, okay. You still do. Still do.
Right.
Boston.
Right. But he said, "Look," he said, "There's a calling on your life, and you've been running away from it. And I can see you running right now, but you're not going to be able to run long." This was July of 2001. He spoke those words to me. Of encouragement. He said, "There's something greater for you to be doing," he said to me, right?
Yeah.
And so I look to leave my wife. I do all this knucklehead stuff. I take a trip to Flint, Michigan.
Oh,
and
geez.
To go see my dad's grave because I didn't go to his funeral when he died.
Really?
Right? Yeah, there's some
yeah,
old,
correct. You said that earlier. It took you a while to
the stuff wrapped up in there.
Forgive.
So I went there and learned some things about why he left Minnesota, where he had no choice. I'll put it that way. I got some uncles.
Yep.
He had no choice. He had to leave Minnesota when he did, when I was 2, right? But I made peace with him there. And then all this crap just seemed to shed off of me. I didn't feel like I was trapped anymore. I said, I want to be a better man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be trapped by alcohol.
Right.
You know, or
Let
anything.
go of those chains.
I need to get that up off of me. Okay.
Get it up off me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So now that getting it past me, I can see when kids are trapped. I can see when they have stuff hanging up on them.
Yeah.
You know, they feel like they're stuck. I'm like, no. We need to have you talk to somebody to get that up off of you. You know, and if it's not me, let's help you find somebody.
Yeah, correct. Because not everyone's going to want to talk.
Nope.
No,
they're not.
So how do you get them to talk?
You like I'm gonna tell you all my dirt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my dirt, so it's okay for you to tell yours.
All right.
Okay. I'm gonna free you of that. Okay.
Okay.
And the other trapping piece is that now there's people that knew me back then. Right.
Right.
They knew me when I was that dude.
Right.
You know, now you're a principal. Who signed that deal?
Yeah, where did you even?
Right?
Yeah,
right. They're trying to. You know, you used to be a player. What are you talking about? You've been married 25 years. No.
Changed who you were.
Yeah, I'm faithful to my wife.
That's right.
You hear me, baby?
Hey.
Right.
Correct.
And so, but those things can get you. I heard something. You know, I love TikTok. You know.
Yeah.
It's somebody that came to this lady and she said something on the lines of,
I love TikTok too.
Don't try to bring up my past to try to hurt me. That's like trying to rob the house that I don't live in anymore. That ain't my stuff.
Oh.
That has nothing to do with me. So I'm not that person anymore.
That is huge.
Right? So let your past go. If your past has been negative, we've all done stuff.
Right.
You have to let it go. You got to forgive yourself. Okay? And then set a course for something better.
Wow. But where do you find the passion to not only find that for yourself, but it has to take a fire underneath someone's ass to want to do that for each and every kid. That takes a lot.
Okay, man. Look. I am tired of seeing our babies cry. I'm tired of seeing our babies feel that they've got to be so hard that they can't be vulnerable, show that they hurt. I'm tired of seeing our babies fail for no reason of their own.
Okay?
Wow. Nobody, oh boy.
It's the Zay Show, no filter.
I wish more people, and now Mabel is fantastic. I got fantastic siblings.
Yeah.
Okay. But those moments when June was by himself, he needed somebody to see him. That brother he flew under the radar. I've got an older picture that I could show you of the angry Albert.
Dang.
Okay. And he looked just like the angry Isaiah. Okay. He looked just like the angry Malik.
Whoa.
You feel me?
Whoa.
And so when I got in that space, I'm telling you, I saw me. And what would someone say to me that could change me then? And so I will never go away from me, man. That passion till I'm done. That's gonna stay there. If there's a hurting child here, I'm coming.
Man, that's absolutely amazing.
I'm coming.
That is absolutely amazing. I hope I can do that to you too, man.
You can.
Like, I'm gonna use you as a teacher still to this day and learn how I can, because like some people don't want to listen to certain people. You know, I mean, my age group. We don't want to listen to our older folks. I'm not calling you older. Okay, I'm talking about
older than dirt, man.
No, that's not what I'm saying, and that's not what I mean by it. But my elders.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, because I was raised where my elders weren't doing right.
Mm-hmm.
So who are you for me to listen to? And obviously you earned that. I mean, you earned an elder spot in my life. Okay, but from other people, you know. So it's nice to be a younger voice that I hope touches people and the youth in that aspect where we can change the world. Like, I hope your ripple, I'm going to let your rock that you threw in a pond, that ripple flow on through me.
Do that. I'm going to walk you through something. We're going to go off air in a little while. I'm going to walk you through something else, man.
Okay.
We're going to get you where you need to be.
I like that. I definitely like that. Mm-hmm. No, that's exciting. I want to say thank you for everybody that's tuning in. I see everybody that's going on here and everybody that, shout out Hadari. I see you in the studio here. Thank you so much. I don't know how we're doing on time here, but I feel like this is just the start for us.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we can connect arms.
Yeah.
And keep changing this world.
I'm down.
Yeah. And the youth around it. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me, man. Like I said, I've been honored, man.
Man, thank you for changing these kids' lives, even if you're not getting told every day.
I appreciate that.
No, I appreciate you, man.
My man.
Hey, my man.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, everybody, and everybody have a great night. Woo.
Don't like me, well I'm on the road. I speak, that's what I love. Can't see